As a medical student, things I'd be told that just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, really? Is that true? I can't believe that's true.
And now introducing our next contestant in What Do You Believe? Dr. Ken Berry. I think I was asleep there. Anyway, this guy needs no introduction because he's already had a 30-minute introduction from the YouTube channel, What I've Learned. Thanks a lot, guys. That's where I got this interview from. Let's see if we learn anything. This person has a very large YouTube channel of 400,000 subscribers because he is a doctor with some muscle. That's a good combination that gets the clicks. Let's see where he aligns and what believers he aligns with.
What was there some piece of information that was kind of the needle that broke the camel's back? You know, you found this one thing out and you said, okay, now I have to write this book.
Yes, you may be thinking what I thought when I saw this. But let's not prejudge here.
As I moved from the standard American diet to then a paleo diet, then a low-carb, high-fat diet, then the ketogenic way of eating, more and more I started to look into total cholesterol.
Okay, yeah.
And LDL.
All right, next question.
You were talking about how what led you to writing the book was the transition from the standard American diet, and you went into paleo to low-carb, high-fat, and then ketogenic. Is there any recent developments?
Yeah, actually there is.
Yeah, I think I can guess that one too. We don't need to see the clip. We know what else comes next. At least that is what they want us to think that everybody's doing. So the rest of the clips I got here in this video will go in a linear progression from crazy to crazier, and then real crazy at the end.
That ancestral paleo, you did a Venn diagram, right? And then within that is the ketogenic way of eating. And then I think for at least some people, a smaller, even more appropriate diet is the carnivore diet. Carnivore diet. I'd seen a couple of guys doing this, and they'd had great success with muscle tone, with
Yeah, people. We've only reached the first level of crazy here. This doctor shuns the medical teachings. Now that alone is not crazy, but the reason he shuns it, because it just didn't make sense to him. And now he's talking about a couple of guys he's seen. Great success in what? That was believable before he said what the success was. What do you believe? Who believes that muscle tone is a good indicator of a healthy diet? So what does he believe, and where does the beliefs end, the research begin?
heartburn, etc., kept getting better and better, and I kept hearing this, and I thought,
No. I kept seeing all these videos of people going carnivore to improve their digestion. I was like, how the hell?
I kept hearing this.
I kept seeing all these videos of people going carnivore to improve their digestion. I was like, how the hell?
Yeah, really, that sounds crazy.
So I was like, I'm just gonna try it 30.
I like to research. I like to experiment. I'm going to try carnivore for a month.
Try it 30
for a month.
It sounds just crazy enough to get your attention. He kept seeing these videos. Wonder how he ever got into it. Listen to the language here, the words he uses.
I kept seeing all these.
I kept seeing. He didn't say, I kept watching all these. I kept seeing, as if they were coming to him.
I like to research. I like to experiment. I'm going to try carnivore for a month and just see what happens. And that was about 7 months ago. And after the month was completed, I'd lost 7 more pounds. I was able to start doing some research on these things that I'd learned years ago as fact. And then the more I started looking at other things that I'd been taught as fact, turns out they're probably not true either. And so the reason I chose the word lies, probably not true either. Lies, lies, probably not true either.
The way he says the word lies with the Tennessee accent, it reminded me of a clip that I've had on my computer for 2 or 3 years. I've only used once, really deserves more. So I'll stick some of that in here. This person happens to be something like the chairman of the U.S. government House Subcommittee on Investigations and Oversight. Keyword science. I'll listen to him speak.
I've come to understand that. All that stuff I was taught about evolution and embryology and Big Bang Theory, all that is lies straight from the pit of hell. And it's lies to try to keep me and all the folks who are taught that from understanding that they need a Savior. You see, there are a lot of scientific data that I found out as a scientist that actually show that this is really a young Earth. I don't believe that the Earth is but about 9,000 years old. I believe it was created in 6 days as we know them.
And as a medical student, things I'd be told that just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, really? Is that true? Lies. If your doctor who's taken an oath, if he tells you something that's not factual and that's actually harmful, then that's worse than just a myth as a doctor. Your job is to know that what you're saying is the most factually based. It also makes common sense, and it's also backed up by the research. Look at the research. Consider the common sense of the situation. Put those two together and see what I came up with.
So this guy's big on common sense, but his Southern accent, and apologies to Southern people who are not ignorant, but the Southern accent has a stereotype attached with it, that a lot of those people are ignorant, and this guy, it's fitting that he has a Southern accent. And also he has mentioned that he lives and works in a rural area. And it's a different world out there.
And so it really does sound like the average doctor is kind of behind the curve when it comes to the newest research.
So when I wrote the book, I was trying to be a little more subtle in my advice about whether or not you should take a statin in order to lower your risk of a heart attack and stroke. But I'm much less subtle now, because as I continue to come to conferences like Low Carb Houston and KetoCon and Keto Fest and hear the leading minds in the field.
Okay, let's pick this apart word by word. Field? What field? Dietary BS? When you say the words KetoCon and Keto Fest and Houston in the same sentence with leading minds, that's pretty funny. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll probably do more of him later. These people are giving us too much material. Thumbs up, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. I need more thumbs up. Check out my playlist, check out my ebook, my website, and my articles. What else? And my Patreon.